All right, well, here we go. Got a final video update of what y'all been seeing me post. Another project added to the channel, like we need another one, but this don't want to make this a super big project. I want to more like make it just a daily driver, run around town and not drive my F-250 all the time and put miles on it. That's our tow pig once we get it set up and running the way we want it to run, as far as towing all of our projects around. But what I was told, it was a 350 with a mild cam, and it runs kind of poorly. We got to do some fixing on it before I can drive it around. And another thing, the reason why I can't really drive it is the DMV's closed and I can't get the paperwork and get a plate on it. So we're going to do the little fixes that it needs. One thing is they got the distributor in backwards. They got the vacuum advance on the driver's side when it needs to be on the passenger side. It's got a couple of burnt spark plugs have been hitting the headers. We got to fix those. The wiring, a little suspect, I would say. They use actual stenching cord to wire in some of the stuff, fuel pump, and I think some of the gauges and stuff. So we got to fix all of that. The actual truck overall, the Blazer overall, it's in pretty good shape. It's one of the reasons why I went ahead and bought it, even though when I walked up and bought it, I saw all the problems about it. So knowing that the body's in good shape, there's no rust on the frame rails, no rust on the floorboards underneath, there's no major dents. So I pretty much bought it for the good body and the fact that the V8 swap was done. And they used the good parts on the V8. It's got good headers. It's got the actual swap motor mounts kit that's in it. So it's not something they put together. They just, the finish and details they didn't do very good on. But we're gonna fix that. It's actually got working AC, so that's a plus. So what we're going to do here next is pull all the plug wires off. We're going to make new ones. We're going to pull the distributor, drop it back down in where it needs to be, set the timing, and then hope that it runs better than what it does right now. Got a question for you guys, and I need your help, and maybe you can help us out in the comments below. Is that it runs fine until it gets hot. Like after you drive it for 20 to 30 minutes, it won't take full throttle. When you try to give it full throttle, it just dies. Cranks right back up, but it dies after you try to just give it full throttle. Like try to open up the floor barrel on it, it just won't take it and it dies. So it does have the Elderbrock carburetor on it, which I don't like. We're going to rebuild my Holly, but we had to order the kit because we couldn't find none in town. So once that gets here, we're going to rebuild the Holly and put on it. So maybe it's just a junky carburetor. I've never liked those, but that's besides the point. Some people do, and I know some people out there that can tune these things to make them pretty badass carburetors. So that's what we got right now, and we're going to jump right in and get these wires pulled and the distributor pulled and start on that. Get back to you in a minute. All right, here's one of the misfires that we had. This was laying right on the header, and obviously it was grounding out and firing on the header instead of the spark plug. And then as we were pulling all the plug wires out, we found one that wasn't even connected. So there's another one that was not firing. And in a couple of videos, people said it was misfiring. Yeah, that's an understatement. But another thing we found that I didn't mention earlier in the video is that holding the distributor in, they just have a big washer, a bolt and a big washer holding it in. So I got the Elderbrock bling distributor hold down. So the next thing we're going to do is pull the distributor out, reclock it, and put it back down in there. So now we're going to find number one, top dead center on number one, so we know where to put it. Come on out of there, don't turn the seal. Got distributor out. I mean, it's a billet distributor. Like, these guys spent some money when they would try to do this conversion. I ain't gonna lie. But They go with the billet distributor, Excel wires and spark plugs, and go with this for a hold down. But hey, like I said, when I bought the truck, I saw it. That was one of the key features I used to be like, hey, I'm not paying your asking price. So I ended up knocking them down because of this and a bunch of other stuff. All right, so we'll get back to you. We're gonna find number 1 again. All right, well, here we go. We got our new wires in. I'm gonna shorten up wire 1 and wire 6. They're the longest right there. Luckily, we got extra clips in the kit. But we fired it up. I had to twist the distributor just a little bit, but it fired up on our first initial attempt. No retiming it or nothing. Now I need a timing light so I can actually set the timing. But fired right up. Let's see if it's doing it good. Way better at idle than it did before. We found 2 burnt plug wires when we were swapping them out, and the distributor cap had a corroded connection that we had to clean up. But as you can tell, vacuum advance is on the right side. We got a hold down fork down there you can't see now because of vacuum advance, and she's idling beautiful. Like, it didn't idle like this when I first got it. It's amazing what happens when all 8 cylinders are firing. But we're going to get off here, take it for a rip down the road, and we'll might show you what it'll do. As you can tell, I mean, it even sounds better inside, even though it's only got 1 muffler on it. Steering wheel has got a little problem with it. I mean, it drops straight. They got it all wonk, so it's going to need a alignment. But we're going to do all that. Like I said, over time, I'm going to probably put an aftermarket steering wheel on it. But as you can see, the interior in this thing is beautiful compared to some of the other trucks I've seen. Before, when I'd push in the clutch, it would want to die. Blah, 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 blah. Also, you can tell is with it being a lower truck, it's not bouncing and jerking. So that was another plus too. When I drove it, test drove it, it was just smooth. Like, I think it could use a little shocks, smooth it out a little bit better, but it's actually not like most of the lowriders I had as a teenager. I'm talking about. After it gets hot, it wants to do that. And there it goes. This is what it did when I bought it. It's got me baffled on why it does it. I don't know if it's flooding out the motor. Like I said, it usually starts right back up. Step outside, we'll talk to you and see you in a minute. Alright, well there you go. It's the project, or today's little project's done, getting it wired up, getting the distributor flipped around where it needs to be. We got a motor mount we need to tighten up. We got a radiator bracket we need to make. Oh, she's a little warm. A radiator bracket we need to kind of tweak up a little bit. So like I said earlier in the video, it's kind of sad that I can't get the paperwork to drive it because of the corona stuff, but at least it gives me a chance to get stuff caught up to where I ain't driving it and don't want to fix stuff. So now our next step is to get an exhaust put on it. I got a couple heartthrob glass packs we're going to put on it just to get it quiet, just to down a little bit, and then try to figure out what kind of exhaust I want to put on it. But we're going to get out of here. I'm going to get this video edited, get it up to you guys. And like I was asking, once you watch this video, well, you're going to see the video that helped me troubleshoot the problem of, like, it doesn't want to take full throttle after we get a little heat in the motor. And then it'll just die but start right back up. But like, share, subscribe, help us out. We'll see you in the next video.